Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. We've got a great show for you today. I'm super excited to introduce you to Sara Porter. Sara is the owner of Remind Wellness. It's a general store and spa in Southampton. She does a few other cool things in the community. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I'd like to introduce you to Sara Porter. Sara, welcome.
Thank you, and hello, everyone.
Sara, thanks for joining us. I know you're super busy. You're like the quintessential entrepreneur. You're running around all the time, probably wearing many hats. I did mention one of your hats being the owner of Remind Wellness General Store and Spa. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so they started together as one concept in June of 2020, and now have branched out into two different areas. So we have an Eminence Organic Spa, which is, we're mostly facials, but all organic, holistic approach to everything. And then we've got the general store, which is everything from consignment clothes to refillables, covering skincare to household cleaners and just about everything in between. And then we do different events, Christmas parties and activities throughout the year as well.
Amazing. And as I mentioned, Remind Wellness is located in Southampton. I have just been introduced to Southampton, meeting you this past summer, and I am overwhelmed by how cool of a little town it is. What is going on in Southampton that makes it so awesome?
Southampton is, it's like if you picture every single Hallmark town, Southampton is that town. It is beautiful. It's unique because as you come to it, every street you look down towards the lake, you see the lake at the end of it, especially our high street, our main street. As you're driving through off the highway and you turn and you look, all you see is our giant flag and the beautiful water of Lake Huron. So it's got a beautiful view. All the businesses are really unique and quaint to our downtown, and our business owners are all lovely. It's just got that really nice little downtown small feel that you don't find everywhere else. So it's really great.
Yeah, it's almost out of like a movie. It's so quaint and picturesque. It's really nice. And I did get the chance to talk to some local business owners when I was there. And it seems like you got a really nice, tightly knit community among business owners. And speaking of other hats that you wear, you're also the chair of the Southampton BIA. What's that like?
I am. It keeps me busy between the two. I'm not sure which day it is most days. It's our community has done a really great job of coming together, businesses collaborating and working together to put on events for the community, to showcase what small businesses really do. I believe the statistic is like 98% of Ontario's private market is all brought to you by small business. So it's a really huge amount of support that we get in Ontario from small businesses, and Southampton is no different. We don't really have one large entity that hires a lot of people. Most people in Southampton, if you don't work at the corporate plant just down the road, you work for a small business, and that's kind of special.
Okay, cool. So we know a little bit about what you're doing now, and I'm always interested in understanding what people did before this, and also what inspired you to start Remind Wellness. Can you kind of walk us down that path for a sec, please?
Yeah, I did work at that corporate business down the street. I worked there for 17 years.
The one that we're not going to mention?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I worked there from 2 months out of high school, and it was basically my entire adult life. I did lots of different jobs, but my main job was working as a cleaner, and I spent so much time around chemicals and just toxicity that eventually it got to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. For not only the physical health, but my mental health as well. So 2016, I started my first business, which was a retreat center. And that was kind of my little outlet. And then in 2020, I still worked there, but I opened Remind in Southampton right at COVID, because I'm really good at timing things.
Yeah.
So I decided to do this, and it's been great. It's kind of been, it's what I needed to feel better, and it allowed me to help other people feel better. So it was exactly what was required at the time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you can do something that you love and enriches your life and in turn enriches the lives of others. I think that's really special. And not everybody has the opportunity to do that with their lives. So good for you for taking that on. I think that's really special.
It does make a huge difference when, you can see people come in and they trust you, especially in the wellness industry. Like when people come in and they want to share with you what's going on with them so that you can help them find the right product that's going to help with whatever it is that they're dealing with. Or sometimes it's just having a conversation and knowing that somebody on the other side of the desk gets it. And it's been so special here in Southampton, connecting with our customers and getting to know them on a different page. And they've been just as good for me as we've been for them.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I read a good quote the other day. It was health is wealth. And if we don't have our health, what do we have? So it's great that you're in that category. And it's something that I've always been mindful of writing about and covering in the magazines that I publish. Speaking of magazines, you're actually on the cover of one of the magazines that I publish. You're going to be on the cover of Support Local for South Georgian Bay edition.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to launch that.
Yeah,
and it's great to have you on the show. Yeah, no, I bet you are. Yeah, it's coming out. I swear. It's been a heck of a lot of work. Support Local is by all means a labor of love for me, but it's how I make my income, and it's great for me to be able to work with people like you and really kind of, in a sense, be a megaphone for your message. And by putting you on the cover and featuring you in the magazine, it makes me happy to know that I'm extending all the good vibes that you extend in your store and in the spa.
Yeah, and Support Local is such a huge element of not only small businesses but a healthy economy. And I think that as soon as I heard the name of the magazine, I was like, oh, well, this is something I get behind, because the more that we support local, the better off everybody is. And unfortunately, sometimes we can get away from that because it's just so easy to go online and click. And as someone that has an online shop, I still want people to shop that way, but by supporting your local small businesses. So I think it's a great thing.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's really getting great traction. It's taking off nicely, and the podcast is a fruit of that labor as well. But speaking of the magazine and a food pun that I didn't even mean to make, you are also a food and drink editor for Support Local, and you've gone out and done a great dining review at a local restaurant here in the Beaver Valley. Can you tell us about that experience?
So we chose Hearts. So myself and my partner, he owned his own business, his own restaurant for several years and was the chef there. So now we get to just go and enjoy food in other places, and I get to enjoy food in our kitchen. But Hearts is one of the places that we really love to go to. It's a really unique, kind of like a French bistro vibe to it, but the whole space is really special. They've got, like kind of like a horseshoe bar and then a little dining room, and they've got a beautiful little cellar area for groups, larger groups of like 8 to 12, 15 people. Their menu is incredible. Everything that we've tried there has just been beautiful. Like I said, very French themed. So you can get like your steak tartares, and I don't even remember what we had. What did we have?
I just read
feel
it.
Like
it was really well written.
That was a couple months ago, Roger. I bet.
I know the meal was a little while ago, and I just read it, and it was such a nicely written dining review. It was so great, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. I think it's wonderful that we can tie in experiences here in South Georgian Bay, and certainly Hearts being in the Beaver Valley, right in Kimberley, is within that territory. And we've got listeners and readers outside of South Georgian Bay, so I'm sure they'll find great value in reading your dining review and checking out Hearts the next time they're up in Kimberley.
Hearts is absolutely worth it. I mean, for us, it's quite a drive, and it's worth it every single time. So Grey County itself, like the food has just blown up, the food industry there. It's incredible.
Yeah, there's really no shortage of cool places to write about, and I think we're going to have
No.
fun collaborating on that as we,
Yeah.
continue to publish more magazines. No, that's really great, and I'm pleased that you did that. And yeah, I think that the future is bright. I mean, we're heading into the holiday season. I feel like you have such a great thing going there in Southampton with Remind Wellness, and it's really a pleasure for me to help you get that word out and help to promote you to our listeners and viewers as well as our magazine readers.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And as much as we are mostly a Southampton business, outside of the summer months, not people don't really come and see us. So it's nice to kind of get out there and stay in people's minds outside of July and August.
Oh, and I bet it's beautiful there right now.
It's stunning. And, I mean, obviously all of us are having a really great fall, but even in the wintertime, it's beautiful around here. And the trails and some of our little boutique inns and motels have events that happen year round. And it's a really great spot.
Awesome. So if people want to get a hold of you to talk about wellness or figure out what you ate at Hearts that evening, what's the best
Yeah.
way for them to reach you?
So they can either find us on Facebook or Instagram at re.mindwellness or remindwellness.ca. And all of our contact information, email and phone number and everything is there.
Amazing. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us on the show today, Sarah. It's been great talking to you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time.